Hey there, Squirrel Army, how's it going? For today, I want to talk about how good Volatile Vault is.
You can join the Squirrel Army by subscribing.
Alright, so this is another Ghost Quarter style land. So you get to sacrifice it and destroy target opponent's non-basic land. And that may a player search their library for a basic land and put it in the battlefield. And then they shuffle, and you get a treasure token. So I think this is pretty good. We're always kind of like on the lookout in EDH for lands just like this. I was playing my deck a couple of my decks recently, and actually no, I wasn't, but I was looking at a couple of my decks recently, at least, but I did play them maybe a bit ago. But anyway, but still, like I was thinking, bro, maybe I should start playing Ghost Quarter again because like there's so many lands that are out there that are just like, yeah, that's a kill on sight land, and I'd rather give you a basic rather than you having that. Like in Muldrotha or whatever, there's just no point in destroying their lands or whatever. But still, like in almost any other deck, they're going to have a hard time in bringing that land back for the most part. So they're not going to get very much value off of it. I do prefer Demolition Field to this. I don't think it's quite as good as Demolition Field because Demolition Field gets you a land and that's a permanent source of mana for you. And it sort of replaces the land that you've lost pretty well. So that's nice. I still think that this is really good. Treasure isn't that amazing though, unless you're kind of in some sort of token deck or whatever, because I've got some ways to keep it around and not have to sacrifice it or whatever, but it's not a bad payoff. It's certainly better than Ghost Quarter, so I would definitely be thinking about adding this over Ghost Quarter for myself in my decks, because at least it gives you some sort of other upside when you've gotten rid of your land. Like maybe in a year or two or whatever, they'll print something that's a bit better than this, but I still feel like this is pretty darn decent and people should be taking a look at this and going, yes, like I do need to deal with Steve's Guy's Cradle whenever he plays it, or, Ryan's Cabal Coffers or whatever, or, whatever, like I need to deal with my opponent's really powerful and good lands. Even some of the less good ones, like you suddenly just need to like really deal with it because otherwise you're just like getting too far behind your opponent, just getting too much like value and whatnot. Like as I said, Guy's Cradle and things like that, and Cabal Coffers and all those sorts of things, just too strong to leave on the battlefield. Even some things like Alchemist's Refuge and things like that, they can be really good. And other things like Academy Ruins and stuff like that, you just don't want people to be having those sorts of things like sitting out on the field, just like returning their artifacts or whatever else they're doing, especially in like something like Jehoira and things like that. Like we get it. You're drawing all the cards and playing solitaire over there. Cool story, bro. But there's just so many. They'll always be printing more non-basic lands in the format. So there'll always be something else coming out that you kind of need to deal with. And I never feel like running Beast Within or Generous Gift anymore. Just because they're just way too much mana to sort of invest in removal just to remove anything. I think that utility really isn't there. I'd rather just have the removal for lands on my lands. That's why, as I said, I like Demolition Field so much, because even if you're losing the Demolition Field, at least it's sort of replacing itself with another land for you, so you're not down on lands, and this is replacing itself with a treasure. So I think, like, again, since it's colorless, it kind of goes in every deck, and since again it makes a treasure, that's just pretty universally good anyway, even if you haven't got a lot of synergy with it or whatever. Yes, sure, you might not keep it around, but maybe it'll be useful at some point. Like, I was thinking, like, I have the idea to make Saheeli, the new Saheeli from this set, into something, and I was like, well, maybe I could use Saheeli to copy the treasure and be like, get more treasures and things like that, and just start making more and more treasures. Like, it'd be really inefficient at first, but if you get like some like untap tap untap sort of stuff and going, then it might start becoming pretty good. But I don't know. Um, I'm still trying to figure that out. But still, I still think like I will definitely be picking one of these up, and I suggest that you guys look to pick one of these up. It's probably going to be like a couple dollars, probably. It is a common, so I guess it's not going to be like super expensive, and it's not like as good as Demolition Field, I still think. But again, a really good card that should see some play in the format, I think. But you guys can always let me know what you guys think. Am I so super wrong, or whatever you want to say down there? I will be glad to hear it, and hope you've enjoyed. Hope you will join me again in the next one.